Hey everybody, and welcome to the Twist Happy Hour. We talk about cocktails, culture, politics, and whatever Kate tells me she wants to talk about this week. So let's dive. We're going to talk about Zoran Mamdani.
It's a toughie.
It's a toughie. It's actually one of the top 2 mispronounced names of 2025, I found out.
What is the other one?
I can't remember now.
Now
I'm going to have to look it up.
Now we have to look it up.
Now we're going to have to look it up. And the use of America, because Kate and I both have teenage sons.
The 2 youths, as they say.
The 2 youths. We have 4 youths between the 2 of us.
There's a lot of youth.
There's a lot of youthing. And I don't know about Kate's, but I have one that is very, not politically active, but politically minded, because he's 16. He cannot wait to vote for the next president.
I love that for you.
He was very excited about Mamdani's campaign. And so I kind of want to dig into that a little bit. So he thinks that I'm cool and I'm talking about it.
I think both of my kids are like libertarians. They're kind of just like,
I'm like, I guess, what, if you were agnostic against politics, you're an anarchist? No, you're not an anarchist because they just want to tear down. What would it be if you just don't care about politics? Just agnostic.
Me 15 years ago. That's what that would be, because I was like, why do I care about this? Like, what are yours? Is it changing? Because that was back in the day when it didn't change your day-to-day life, right? You were like,
that is true.
I mean,
whatever. My parents are stressed.
They were just doing that whole fiscal responsibility, like whatever thing. And now it is, every day is a new and exciting adventure.
I had to stop listening to NPR in the car with my youngest, who's 13, because he was getting so moody after he'd like take a shower at night and everything. And I'm like, why are you being this weird and moody? And, you know, we won't talk about other reasons, but he was just like, because I just start thinking about everything and thinking about the world. And he's like, and it's all just gone to crap and everything's wrong and nothing's going to ever get better. And I was just like, okay, this is too heavy for all of us. So let's not. But he loves watching The Daily Show. And like Seth Meyer and like, you know, all the stand-ups and everybody and their monologues.
Because my husband, so before I gave a poop about politics, which I really just didn't give a poop. I didn't think about it much. I was like, meh, I'll let somebody else think about that. And I used to watch The Daily Show and I used to call it the news, and my husband would get really mad at me. And he'd be like, well, you're sticking your head in the sand. You don't know anything about this stuff. And I was like, no, I'm watching the news. And he was like, that's not the news. And I was like, it is for me. They tell you things are happening.
I was going to say, it's real things happening. Yeah. It's like, how is it any different than a commentary? Yeah. It's like, it's just editorialization of the news.
I understand satire, so it's fine.
Well, as we dig it, we have to make our cocktail first.
Oh, God. Yeah. Why are we even here,
something to drink? I know. So I am making a rosemary cranberry cocktail. So this is sugared rosemary, and I believe there's a recipe short of it on the account right now.
Perfect.
I mean, I don't know if I chew on it, but it sure looks pretty, although it looks a little wilted right now.
You made a recipe to sugar your rosemary?
Yes. So it's a video to show people how to sugar rosemary, because some people don't know how. I mean, you literally like get a little wet and sprinkle some sugar on it and let it dry. But
okay, that's fair. We need to throw that on the Instagram for the viewers so they can. I feel like we need more cocktail.
I know I have to collaborate because all of them are on the Twist cocktail recipe
you need
Instagram
to send them
account.
As a collab, girl.
I know. I'm trying.
I'm trying. This is just shop talk.
Okay, yeah, shop talk. Now you all know how we argue behind the scenes. Anyway, cranberry juice, and I pre-measure all these things so that you guys don't have to waste time watching me. Yeah, I do. A little orange juice, and I'm just building this on top of it. You don't even have to have a shaker for this. And then a little rosemary simple syrup.
So many simple syrups.
Delicious. And then
I feel like I should have an entire cabinet just of simple.
We have an entire shelf in our fridge. And don't get me started on my freezer. All right, this is soda water going on top. And then my freezer has little 4-ounce jars of purees and
You're just at the ready. You're like a mixologist.
I am. I'm like, oh no, I need this. Well, also because I do such seasonal stuff, I need to like puree and make syrups while it's in season, so then I can keep playing with it throughout the season before it all goes bad. Like I made a beautiful roasted plum simple syrup. I made a roasted plum simple syrup, and like the next week I couldn't find plums anywhere. I was just like, okay, I guess plums aren't a thing in California.
What was the topper? I missed it. I was not paying attention.
Oh, It was just soda water.
And
but
then
I would make this with vodka or gin.
That's what I was going to say. This
So
is
it's
non-alcoholic.
cranberry, rosemary. This is non-alcoholic for me, but I would add probably 2 ounces of vodka or gin to it, and I would choose a citrusy gin.
Holiday
yeah,
classic.
but it's like a nice little, Christmassy thing.
Now,
you
could you make the juices in a batch situation and then just pour them out for your holiday festivities and then top it with
I would just like make a huge batch of it and then like fill up your tall glasses like halfway and then add some soda. This is a very thin glass, so it's a little concentrated.
Right.
I would water it down a little more.
I think that's a great. I'm just going to keep itching my nose already.
I know. And ladies, cranberry juice is so good for you. So it's healthy.
And because I am not a fancy mixologist and I am currently not in my home, I am in a rental Airbnb and I don't have my full bar, I am having ginger kombucha with vodka.
Well, sometimes we have to compromise.
And I am day drinking because that is my life right now.
Yeah. I start day drinking around 2:30 in the winter because that's when the light's good and that's when I start filming all the cocktail recipes. So
there you go. See?
And then by like 3:30 or 4, I'm done.
People are going to start getting worried about me on this. Like, is there an intervention?
How does she keep going?
Yeah.
All right.
We do this once a month. We record a bunch in one shot, so it's fun.
So,
right,
so let's get back to politics and Mamdani. So yeah, my kid loves him. He loves his socialist agenda and that he's basically sticking it to the current administration. He thought the meeting between the current president and Mamdani was hilarious.
It was unexpected, I think, right? For everyone, no matter what side of the political spectrum you were on, everybody was kind of like, wait, what's happening?
I was watching, of course, the recap on The Daily Show, my news.
Right.
And he's just like, what is with the bromance happening? It's like Trump wants to hang out with the cool kids, but nobody wants him to.
I mean, he is cool, right? He's like good looking. He's cool. He's just kind of like whatever. He is so old school punk rock because he's very much like, F the system. The system doesn't work. We're going to break it all down. We're going to like anybody that is Gen X that was into the punk rock scene. That was like our whole jam,
Oh, yeah. But he's younger than that. Like, he's a millennial, isn't he? Which is crazy.
I don't know. I don't know the age of his 30s. But even so, any Gen Xer should be on board with this because this is the we're not gonna take it, that vibe. And so I really dig the vibe. And I know there were a lot of people who do not live in New York or anywhere near it that were real big mad about him winning. And I was like, have you ever cared who the mayor of New York is? Like, has it ever affected you at all, ever?
Well, and I love everybody's comments on, like, all these people are going to leave New York. 9 million people are going to leave New York or whatever. And all the stand-ups were like, I'm sorry, did you just tell me that, like, a bunch of apartments are going to come back on the market for us to rent? Like,
and they will
we have a housing shortage. Leave.
I won't have to the closet anymore.
Right? So, by the way, Mamdani is 34. He was born in 1991.
Okay, so is he a millennial then?
See, he's a millennial.
Yes, millennial.
He's a tight millennial.
With a millennial, and she's 32.
Yeah.
So she talks about being millennial a lot.
They were a very proud generation, or they still are. I remember when they rose up.
I feel like ours is too. We are very proud we drank out of the hose, played in the mud, rubbed dirt in our wounds.
We weren't born with helicopter moms, and now we're not helicopter moms. Millennials are helicopter moms.
No wonder we're moms. We're like, go play in the sewer. I'll see you at dinner.
I still am. I'm like, go outside.
Now we're helicopter moms? Of course we are, because we're like, oh my God, I don't want my kids.
Oh, no, I'm saying Gen X is not helicopter moms, because we were I
know a lot of Gen X. I'm not, because...
Okay, I think older Gen X, but the younger Gen X, like me, so I'm on the cusp of Gen X and millennial, and I'm very much like, go, leave me alone. I'm watching my shows.
I mean, I feel like my kids need to just they need a little knockdown of they need a little reality.
Yeah, they're not as
cool
as they think
they live a charmed life. They live in a house at the beach, tropical.
They do. You live closer to the beach than I do.
Who are you? You don't have to walk to school in the snow, ever.
I know. They complain about going to snow. So, all right, let's get back to our topic.
Mamdani, he loves the snow.
He loves the snow. He loves free
childcare. That's our segue.
Yeah.
I thought that the meeting between him and Trump was really weird. like really like, what is happening?
Yeah, I want to watch the whole thing. Like, what the heck happened in that meeting?
It was a real head scratch. I'm sure there were a lot of people on the far right that were like, what is happening? Yeah, it was very strange. I think it's interesting about you saying the NPR thing and how he was like, oh my gosh, what is happening in the world? And got in like the doldrums from NPR, because I listen to NPR and I'm like, why aren't they madder about this? I'm like, why are they being so normal about everything?
NPR is never mad at anything. They have
No.
like this one cadence that they all have to keep.
Yeah, they're
like,
super chill, I guess.
Which
that's
I'm like,
true.
great, just give me the facts. Like, that's all I want is the facts. And then
No,
I will watch the commentaries
well,
on it later that night.
and what's funny is, so I had a lot of people that were in my neighborhood and stuff that were like posting on Facebook and stuff about Mamdani. I cannot say his name. Mamdani is like the end all be all of the world, and we're all going to burn and everybody's going to die a horrible death and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, seems like a lot of the things that he is for are things that people who voted for Trump are also for.
Mm-hmm.
Like more low prices. He's into that, right?
Yeah.
Cheaper housing. Again, this was a thing that, like, I feel like a lot of people that voted for Trump, affordability, like economy, affordability, like he's kind of running on that same idea.
Yeah.
But it's the how to get there is the problem, I guess, for them. But the other thing is, like, Trump doesn't have a how to get there, as far as I can tell. Like, he's the concepts of a plan guy. I have not seen him come out and be like, here's our plan to lower prices. But other than he just yells the word tariffs and walks off stage.
Yeah. And he already thinks he has lowered prices and that everything's, he thinks affordability is a made up word, which is a totally different podcast topic.
Well, and I feel like he kind of leans into these trigger words of tariffs. Drill, baby, drill. Are we drilling? Are we drilling more?
I don't know.
Has anybody heard about drill, baby, drill since he said it in the campaign? No.
Oh, I don't even remember.
The tariff thing, he just yells tariffs and walks off stage like tariffs, and then he just leaves. And you're like, okay, that's a word, not a plan. If you could maybe have a more comprehensive explanation as to how
will that roll into the general public?
Because it seems like Walmart and like a lot of other Amazon, like they weren't real jazzed about it when he just yelled tariffs and walked off. They were like, whoa, 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 whoa. How's it going to work? And he's kind of missing the whole how's it going to work part. Mamdani is saying, okay, this is how it's going to work. And everybody's going, well, that's socialism, which it isn't socialism. And anyone who thinks that that is what socialism is, they need to like look up actual socialism. But I think it's so interesting that the people who really don't like him really loved Trump for the same talking points. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Nope,
it doesn't make sense. But,
Well, and I think you're right. It's like they like the idea of the plan and the person who's going rah, 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 and yelling about it, but they don't like the person who's actually come up with a fix for it. Although I think people are still questioning how everything's going to get paid for. But in New York, so I'm like, well, if everybody leaves, then there's no more tax.
9 million people are going to leave. How many people are even in New York?
Oh, I don't know. It was some percentage, like 10% of the population was going to leave.
I don't think that. No, New Yorkers are too much into the New York thing, too. They're like,
I know. I'm like, if you're a New Yorker, like, that's a point of pride. I lived here. I was raised here. I'm
It's like a Philly person being like, not like in the Eagles anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or being like, oh, actually, I live in Jersey now.
Like, it's just, there's certain loyalties that you just can't break.
Yeah, no. Oh, if they were a Penguins fan now, Philadelphia. Ooh, if you became a Penguins fan for Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philly Flyers were like big rivals.
Oh, I know, but like nobody's who's a Penguins fan?
I know, but it would be like a Philadelphia like native being like, oh, I'm a Penguins fan.
I'm moving to Pittsburgh and I'm going to love the Steelers. And
I'm going to eat French fries in my sandwiches.
It's too ingrained in you. You are who you are. Just move on.
Yeah.
It's funny because Mamdani doesn't seem fazed by any of the hate any of he's just kind of like, all right, cool, whatever. So I'm going to just keep going. The mayoral debate was the best part of the whole campaign. That guy, the Italian dude, who's very much in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was amazing. They were like, how do you get around the city, sir? And he was like, I was shot on Fifth Avenue. And you're like, okay, wow, that is not what I asked, but thank you for that information. You're like, I want this guy to win just because he's going to be, when he talks, it makes me so happy because I'm like, what is he saying?
We already have one of those, okay?
So funny. I was just like, and then they were like, oh, do you have any stores that you like in New York? And he was like, my brother was gunned down in the subway. And you're like, that's not even what you're saying that. Oh my God.
Just so you know, he was awesome. A real New Yorker.
He was hardcore Italian New Yorker. He was like, he just kept talking about getting shot. I was like, dude, I feel you. This is the best. I love this guy. Oh my God. It was like, and poor Cuomo was just like, I have a driver.
It's like, I don't take the subway.
What do you mean? The subway. That's crazy. Poor Cuomo. He's a mess, that guy.
I'm still surprised he even tried.
I mean, he clearly didn't have any kind of social media account during the COVID because there was a lot of Cuomo. I mean, I don't live in New York, and I saw.
I was just saying, I knew everything happening. So
I don't think it was a great idea to run. New York City was not real happy with you, Governor.
They're like, oh, remind us why we hated you. Thank you, and waste all of other people's political money running. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, there's our thoughts on Mamdani. And our kids and meetings and debates for the
libertarian children.
And libertarian and socialist children. And thanks so much for joining us. Remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and comment. We want to have a dialogue with you guys, too. And reach out.
Maybe you don't love Mamdani. Maybe you also can't pronounce his name.
Yeah. And maybe you could tell us what the other most pronounced word in 2025
was.
Yeah,
what is the other name that is most pronounced?
I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll tell you on the next episode.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your cocktail. Bye.